Ladies and gentlemen, we have Suzi Carr in the building. How are you, Suzi?
I'm great. How are you, DJ Racer?
I'm fantastic. It's Friday night. The weather's out here. And I got to say, it is wonderful to finally be able to talk to an artist that lives in California because everyone I interview, they're either from New York or they're from Miami.
I know. New York or Miami. I know. And we live in the greatest place of all, don't we?
It's great, right? Everybody's probably going home from partying and we just getting started.
That's right. And our weather is perfect.
Oh man, today was gorgeous. But see, for me though, I don't like a lot of the hot weather. I kind of like it cool. So when it's 70, between 60 and 70, 75, I'm happy. When it hits 100, very, very unhappy.
Me too. We've had perfect weather the past month. It's been just idyllic, don't you think?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I just hope it stays this way. But we can't ask for too much because we know it's gonna change.
Oh, I know, but it's still fabulous. You sound like you're from New York, are you?
I'm from New York. I'm originally from New York, and I moved out here many, many moons ago. I've been out here over 25 years.
I've been here 28 years.
I moved here
29 years in August. Yeah. Labor Day weekend, actually.
What year did you move out here?
90.
So then I have more time because I moved out here, I want to say 87, 88 I moved out here. So
you've been here 31 years or something.
Yeah, something like that. Over 30 years. And I'll tell you a funny story. So I came from New York and I moved out here, and it was funny because I gave away all my jackets and I told all my friends, I'm not going to need this anymore. But I made a mistake and I moved to California during the cold weather, which is like November, December. And I was freezing and I didn't have any jackets. I gave them all away.
Oh, Lord, honey. Yeah, you always keep your jackets in California. It's even cold in the summertime at night.
Tell me about it. So, Suzi, man. So, Suzi, listen, I'm so happy you were able to come on the show. So it's a privilege. It's a privilege to have you on the show because, a lot of people know your name and then they see it and they're like, Suzi Carr, isn't she from Will to Power? And, and I'm like, I was listening to your music this whole week and I was playing your music and your voice is fantastic. Honestly, your voice is on point. So tell us a little bit of what Suzi Carr is doing now, what you're up to, and just give us some news.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. You're awesome. And thank you for being so kind and generous with your compliments. I really appreciate it. You're making my day.
You're very welcome. And before I forget, I want to thank Gail Hoya from Bell Entertainment. She was the one that got us together and made this happen. So shout out to her company. She's a great woman. So thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail. Gail's a sweetheart. We love Gail.
Absolutely.
My thing that I'm really excited about just coming up next weekend, I'm doing huge. I think it's probably going to be the best night of my life, to be honest, as far as entertainment goes. As far as doing music. I'm pulling it up so I can read you everyone that's in it. I'm doing a huge concert. It's supposed to be sold out. It's Saturday, April 27th. It's next to the Staples Center. Well, because you're an LA person, but it's the Nokia. It's the old Nokia. It's called the Microsoft Theater.
I know that area very well. That's where they put the ice skating ring during the holidays.
Beautiful venue. I saw Lady Gaga there. Her mother was my college roommate at West Virginia University, and she called me and said, "I want you to go see my daughter." And she got us seats. I know about 5. They were great seats. And about 5 rows behind me were Quentin Tarantino and Puffy. So I had better seats than they did.
And you know what's great? I don't know if they have it this good in Florida, but in California, any concert, any venue, any sports event you go to, one thing you're guaranteed to see is celebrities. Now, I work for Universal Studios for the movie, not the theme park, but for the the movie and the TV area. So I see them all over the place. So I'm never starstruck. But
that's great.
Yeah, so people don't realize how many celebrities we got out here in LA.
Oh, I know, they're everywhere. Okay, you tell me, who have you seen at where you work?
The Rock.
I love him.
I've seen The Rock. I've seen Will Ferrell, Believe it or not, Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because I ran into one day. She was on the lot and she was going in for a casting, and she was totally lost. And I knew who she was, not J Lo. I'm skipping on to the next person, and I go, can I help you? And she goes, oh, I'm going to the casting, and I go, that's one of the buildings I manage, and she grabbed my hand, and she was she was trembling because she was so nervous, and it was Brandy. Remember Brandy, the singer?
Yes, Brandy is killing it in Star. Have you seen her on Star?
Yes, so it was Brandy.
Oh my God, she's so good. She plays a badass gangster bitch. She's a murderer. She's awful. She is so good at being awful. I love her on Star. And Patti LaBelle plays her mother, and Queen Latifah plays her sister. She's knocking it out of the ballpark on Star. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
She's so good. Hey, how tall is she? I was trying to figure it out yesterday.
She's not that tall. I'm not that tall myself. I'm 5'8", so she's got to be what, 5? I would say 5'5", 5'6". She's not that tall.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because Queen Latifah is very tall, and she looks little next to Queen Latifah. I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. Okay, who else have you seen? That's a great story.
Unfortunately, Steve Harvey. Now, Steve Harvey.
Oh, I love Steve Harvey. Don't tell me he's a bad person, please.
I'm going to tell you right now. Okay.
Oh, wait. He's from West Virginia, where I'm from. He's from very close to my hometown. I love him. Okay, tell me.
So first, let me just say that I love Steve Harvey as an entertainer. He's a great entertainer.
He's the greatest.
But I deal with the legal people that represent him. Yeah. And I don't want to say too much because, don't want to get myself in trouble. But let's just say he's a legal nightmare.
He's a legal nightmare?
Yeah, because he doesn't know what to say and not to say. So they have to filter him out. And it takes hours and hours and hours for a 1-hour show. It probably takes 2 days of editing because...
Oh, because he just says whatever comes to his head. He's unfiltered.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Oh, but that's why I love him, too. That's what makes him great.
Now, his show got canceled, right?
No.
Kelly Clarkson is taking over in September. She takes over his spot.
No.
Yes, indeed.
What's he going to do?
He's still doing Family Feud. He's okay. He ain't going nowhere.
Oh, man. I love him. Oh, Lord. Okay, who else you seen?
That's about it. I've probably seen a bunch of people here, B-class celebrities. They walk all over the place. We have a big commissary that everybody uses during filming and stuff like that, but they're all over the place, and a lot of times they blend in. You don't even notice who they are till somebody tells you, hey, that's such and such, and you look and you go, oh yeah, that's right, it is him.
Oh, I know, sometimes you don't recognize them. Well, for instance, I do hot yoga, and I go to the class when I was doing the Sherman Oaks class, and one day my girlfriend came in and she said, why didn't you tell me Jenny McCarthy was in front and behind you in yoga class? And I said, what? Is that who that was? I love Jenny McCarthy. I would have recognized her easily because I've been a fan for years. Didn't recognize her. So then one day, Nicole Richie was next to me. And then one day I was walking out and Ryan Gosling bumped into me. He's tall. He's much better looking in person than he is on the screen. And then one day Mr. Big was there. Well, Mr. Big came several times. He looked very frustrated. Mr. Big was on Sex and the City. He was the love interest on Sex and the City. Women know him. Men probably don't know who he is. But my favorite, who opens the door for me, is extremely polite, is Colin Farrell. He's adorable, and he's been next to me in my yoga class many times, and he's precious. And he's a perfectionist. He does yoga so well. He's an athlete. His father was a soccer coach, and he comes to my yoga class with his sister. His sister goes everywhere with him. I guess she's his manager or something. But anyway, his father was a real strict soccer coach, so I guess he grew up being an athlete, and I was just amazed at how great he is in hot yoga. The room is heated up to 105 degrees. It's very hot in there.
What?
And then one day I was working out at gyms Gold's Gym. I used to work out there every day, and on weekends we would go down to the Venice Gold's Gym on Saturdays and Sundays, and I could see in the corner of my eye somebody was in my space, and it was like, what? This guy needs to get the hell out of my space. And I looked over, and it was The Rock.
Oh, that boy.
Yes, he was right in my space. He was so cute. So I moved. I didn't like ask them to move or anything, but yeah, it was pretty good eye candy.
All
Who
right,
else?
look.
I've seen a lot of people at Gold's too. The
So
guys from Kiss, Denzel Washington's wife used to go to our Gold's. Mario Lopez went to our Gold's in North Hollywood. Yeah, a lot of people go to our Gold's.
well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you two quick funny stories, real quick.
Okay.
Jenny McCarthy, story number one.
Love her.
About 10 years ago, she was working on a show and she was on one of my floors. Now I managed the whole floor, and she had her people wanting me to move a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm not moving anything. I'm not moving anything. So she thought that because she's Jenny McCarthy, she could come out, sweet talk me. She gave me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek, and she's like, "What do you?" I looked at her and I go, "No." So I still didn't do it. And the second one, The Rock, when he was filming The Mummy, this didn't happen to me, but a colleague of mine was driving by in his golf cart, and they were having a water balloon fight, and they hit the worker that was in the golf cart with a water balloon. The Rock felt so bad, he called him over, gave him a water bottle, and autographed it. The funny story is, I now have the water bottle.
Oh,
So
good.
he's sitting in
I'm
my
glad
game
you
room. I have it autographed by The Rock.
Oh, I love that. That's a great one. Okay, I have one more for you. So when I first moved out here, I moved out here in 90. So do you remember, you were here then, do you remember they used to have that China Club every Tuesday night and famous people would go in and sit in? I mean, they had like the guys from Led Zeppelin. They had phenomenal people come in and sit in, like older people like Fleetwood Mac. And do you remember that? Did you ever go to the China Club on a Tuesday night?
I heard about it, but I've never been.
Okay. So one night I was there and Rick James took my hand to kiss it and put my entire hand in his mouth. I mean, it was pretty bizarre.
That's disgusting.
Pretty bizarre. Yeah, it kind of grossed me out. I had to go wash my hand. So then I went downstairs and they had the VIP room downstairs in like a basement area where, you know how they do the VIP rooms where they have it roped off and you have to know somebody to get in and all that bullshit. Yeah. Can I cuss on here? Can I say cuss words or no?
You can say whatever you want on this station.
Oh, good. So, you know, all the bullshit that goes along with when you're trying to get into a VIP room or whatever. So I'm standing there and I have my high heels on and I was with my girlfriends and this little short guy comes running up to me, so excited to see me. I didn't recognize him. He came up to about my boob. I'm tall though. I'm like 5'7". So with heels on, I was probably close to 6 feet. So he comes running up to me. And he has this really heavy Boston accent going, Suzi Ka, I can't believe it, Suzi Ka. And I'm thinking, oh shit, who is this? I couldn't place him. I didn't know who it was. He goes, don't you remember me? I'm Donnie's brother, Marky Wahlberg.
Oh,
it was Mark Wahlberg.
It was Mark Wahlberg.
He was on the bus with us. We used to open for New Kids on the Block all the time. And Mark had gotten in trouble. And so I think he was only 15 or 16 at the time. And he had gotten in trouble. So Donnie brought him down to go on the road with us. And they had like 3 tour buses when we were with him. And so we'd hang out with him on the bus all the time, but I didn't recognize him. But that's one of my best stories.
And I love Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, I love him. He's great. I'm so proud of him. What a phenomenal actor. He turned out to be this phenomenal human being and actor. And oh my God, he's done better than anyone that I've ever known. And he's done the best of everybody. He and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, and he
turned out to be amazing, huh?
And he brought us Entourage. We can't forget Entourage. That was all him. That was all him. That was amazing.
Yes. And I love Donnie too. Donnie was a darling kid. I mean, he was probably only 17 or 18 when we were on the road with him, but he was adorable. He was a great kid. And I love that he's married to Jenny. I think they're such a cute couple. They seem really in love. Yes. Oh, let me get back to Lady Gaga. So she performed at the Microsoft Center. And I went to see her, and it's this fabulous theater. And this is when she was big, but she wasn't Staples Center big yet. But she was already big. It was when she already had Paparazzi, and all those songs were already big. So this is a big ass venue. It's 8,000 people. And let me tell you who's going to be in it, because I think it's probably going to be one of my best nights of my life. I'm very excited for it. I have 4 dancers with me, a hype guy. and a DJ. So I'm pretty excited about it. Vanilla Ice, Taylor Dane, Cece Peniston, Jody Watley, Trenier, Lisa, Sweet Sensation, Cynthia, and Johnny O. It's a 30-year anniversary of Slick Rock and JJ Fad. Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Mel Scorpio. I don't even know who that is. Color Me Bad, Rob Bay, Shannon, me, and I can't read anything else. I think that's it. There are a whole lot of people on this one. It's supposed to be sold out. It's a big production by Bobby D. You know, Bobby D does that Long Beach one every year.
Yes.
It's sold out. It's huge. So he moved it from Long Beach up to the Microsoft Center. So I'm thrilled about it. I think it'd probably be the best concert I've ever done.
So let me ask you, when you do a concert of that magnitude with so many artists, how many songs do you do? Like what?
I do all my hits. I go on and do all my hits, and that's it. I go on and do my hits, and that's it.
Now, when you perform your hits, what's your absolute favorite song that you like to perform?
Oh, well, let me reiterate what my hits are, because people are probably thinking, if anyone's listening, they're thinking, oh, what the hell are her hits? So I do Say It's Gonna Rain, Fading Away, Baby I Love You Way and Dreamin'. And probably, I don't know, I like doing all of them, to be honest. It's just so much fun doing these shows. And the audiences I've never seen audiences like this anywhere. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. These freestyle audiences are off the hook. They scream through the whole show. They know every word. They know all your songs. It's just the most fun thing I've ever done in my life.
You know, and it's funny because every time I go to a Freestyle Explosion concert and I see the people, most of our, that's our age, it's lovely to see them, because when they go to these concerts, they dress with their best attire. Like they dress like they go into a wedding or prom. They get decked out.
Oh yeah, these girls have on those like 8-inch stilettos. I don't know how they even walk to their seat in those shoes. Oh yeah, they style. They look great. And I think there are a lot of younger kids too. Like our audience, we have a lot of 30-year-olds in our audience and early 40s,
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome. I've never seen an audience like ours. The freestyle, I will say, in my lifetime, in all the concerts that I've been to in my lifetime, the freestyle audiences are the best ones I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, what do you think?
Listen, to me, I love freestyle, so I'm always gonna say freestyle. I've seen Lisa a few times,
she's great.
But
and she's such a kind person too. She's such a sweet, loving, kind person. I just love her.
And I tell you, the venue that I miss the most out here in LA is the Universal Amphitheater.
Yes, me too. The Gibson Theater.
Yes, absolutely.
I loved it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, the Gibson Amphitheater. And
the Universal City?
Yeah, and because I work for Universal, every concert that came on there, I got backstage passes. So I was there all the time and having a great time backstage. I took pictures with Debbie Deb, and it's great. My wife and I have gone to see George Lopez like 3 times, even though he says the same
George
jokes.
Lopez.
Yeah, we just like to go.
He was one of my private clients I've been a massage therapist for 25 years. I've been a Reiki master, massage therapist, reflexologist, and George Lopez is one of our clients, and I just adore him. So he knows all my hits. He knew who I was, but he just knows me from being a massage therapist. So when I went to, do you feel like hearing this story?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. Excuse my language. So Frank Amadeo was the head of Y100 in Fort Lauderdale. Well, they did a whole lot getting all of our records to ¡1. They were our Miami programmers for the biggest station in Fort Lauderdale. So we had like Y100, the hot station and the power station were the big stations down here, and they all pumped our records. I mean, they did such a great job getting all these records to #1. But what I was going to tell you, Frank Amadeo was one of my best friends, and he took me under his wing. I met him when he was 16. before the Will to Power deal, I've been trying to make it for 13 years before the Will to Power thing came out. I had a demo reel of like $100,000 worth of songs. So I went down to the station. I met Robert W. Walker, who was at that time the programmer, and his assistant was Frank Amadeo. Well, Robert W. Walker was fabulous. Robert broke Casey and the Sunshine Band. I mean, he's like a legend in Florida, a legend. And he was always wonderful to me. And they were always introducing me to the record companies and all the A&R guys and trying to, help me get signed. So I had a beautiful history with those two before Will to Power was ever, created. So Frank Amadeo went on to become, from the age of 16, he went on to become the program director of the biggest station in Florida. And Gloria Estefan stole him and she took him from the radio station, and he became her personal manager. So for all these years after, he was a big deal on the radio station, I mean, he worked his way up from the age of 16. When he became the radio station programmer, he was probably like 25 or 27 or something like that, So anyway, he worked his way up. He became Gloria's manager. He's been with her all these years. So he's still in Florida. I'm out here. I haven't seen him in years. So he calls me up and he goes, Suzi, I need to back up and tell you this too. So before Will to Power, I had written 2 songs for Gloria Estefan, and they went on the first album. And I was at the studio hanging out with them the night they recorded Conga. So we were all in the control room, and Emilio, her husband, says, everybody go out he's got a really heavy Cuban accent. Everybody go out into the singer's booth. We want you to do, I'm going to direct you. And when I tell you, there were like 10 of us standing around a microphone. He goes, when I tell you, I want you to go, aha. He goes, when I point to you, I want you to go, aha. So I'm on that record. I'm on Conga just because I was hanging out with them like they did it. But anyway, so Frank Amadeo calls me up and he goes, we're doing the On Your Feet Broadway show in LA at the Pantages Theater, and we want you to come. And I said, oh my God, that would be great. So I'm not a big Broadway fan. I don't really like Broadway. I prefer movies. I've been to like probably 5 Broadway plays in my life. And so I thought, okay, this will be great. I want to go. And I did not really expect it to be anything like it was. It was amazing. You laugh, you cry. I mean, for me, it was so personal because it took me through all those years of my life. It took me from like 1986 or 1985 when I met him and when they were first breaking up till now. And I went through my whole life again with Robert, the radio people, and Frank. And, it was just, it was so good to be there. I was so, so thankful. And my best friend went with me, Shirley, who's a doctorate in psychology, and she's fabulous. And I was just so happy to have her with me. So Michael Bolton sitting in front of us, and all these celebrities there. Stevie Wonder was there. Oh, there were all kinds of people there. And you know how it is because you miss half of them because you just see them walking by and you go, oh, shit, that was Michael Bolton. Oh, man, that was Steve. Oh, my God, that was. So you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we go to the after party. And this was great, too, because Eric Schilling, he's one of the greatest engineers in the world. He does the Grammys every year. He does the Super Bowl every year. Simon Cowell flew him out to do that big, show that he had on to do the mixing there. He did all of One Direction's song, Master mixed all those. He's just one of the world's greatest engineers. And of course he did Gloria, and he mixed a lot of our Will to Power songs too. He was our engineer for that. So I started with Eric when I was like 20 or 21, and he was just starting out. Well, no, he was already pretty established. He'd already done the Bee Gees and a lot of the South Florida, people. He was already big. So anyway, he did all my $100,000 worth of demos. Eric did all of those. And then when we did the Will to Power things, Eric did those. So, and then he did all the, of course, the Gloria Estefan, all those things. So Eric was at the Broadway show too, which was great because we have so much history too. And I just recently, the songs that I sent you, my newest songs, Eric mixed those. He's like one of the greatest in the world. So I was like so thrilled to have him do my songs and then get to see him again and then do the Broadway show. He was at the Broadway show. So what I was going to tell you, when it was great. They had Sheila E. played at the after party. Oh my God, she was great. The Broadway show is great. The music was amazing. The acting was great. So then we go to the after party, and we walk over with Eric and his wife, and they have a red carpet, and you walk down it, and they take pictures and stuff. So anyway, we're up in the VIP room, and we're hanging out. Gloria's up there with us, and Amelia, who I hadn't seen in years, and it was great seeing them, and Frank, and so. We're getting ready to leave, and so Sheila E. is playing like this whole Prince medley. It was amazing. She did like all the Prince songs in a medley. You know, she probably did like 7 or 8 songs and just one after the other.
That was awesome.
So we're like walking out, but we stop because I want to hear it because it's just so amazing. So my friend Shirley taps me on the shoulder and she goes, Suzi, George Lopez is up there. I said, what? I have to go say hi to him. So I went back into the VIP room and I went over and I gave him a big hug and a kiss and I said hi to him. And I felt like I had to explain to him why I was there because he only knew me as a massage therapist. He didn't know me as like, you know, hanging with Gloria and Emilio and writing songs for them and all that stuff. So that was really fun. That's my George Lopez story. But he's wonderful. He's so down to earth and sweet and kind, and I loved him.
I've never met him personally, but I heard he's a great guy. And if
you love him,
if you pull over, he'll talk to you. But now that you're talking about Gloria Estefan, the 2 songs you wrote were "Body to Body" and "Surrender Paradise," correct?
Yeah. How'd you know that?
I do my research.
I'm impressed. Thank you.
And everybody,
I'm so flattered that you would know that.
Yeah, and not only your friend Shirley, but you also graduated with a degree in psychology, correct?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I have a degree in psychology. Yep. You're good.
So
how'd you know that?
Let me ask you this. If you got a degree in psychology,
yeah.
how did you get into the massage therapy?
Well, I didn't go after it. This was after my records were already hit. And I don't know people aren't aware of this, but I never got any of my royalties from any of my hits, so I didn't have money. So I moved down here in 90 thinking I was going to get a solo deal and just keep on singing because that's all I'd ever done my whole life. So I did. The solo deal I got was in 94, and it was a great song. They never released it over here, but it was a great song. It's called All Over Me, and it's considered to be, I should have you play it actually. I should send it to you while we're talking.
Suzi?
Excuse me. Huh?
I have it, and it's cute. If you want me to play it, I can play it right now.
All over me, you have it?
Of course I do.
Oh, I love it. Well, I think it's the best song I've ever written, and I'm really proud of my vocals on it. We recorded it. First of all, let me just say this because I'm really proud of this. It's considered to be one of the best dance records of all time, one of the top 10 best dance records of all time in the UK, which I had no idea because they never released it over here. So I didn't know, but they did 10 or 12 remixes on it. So they have all these remixes on it. And it was a huge, apparently it was huge at the raves, back in the mid 90s when they had raves and things. So apparently it was a really big record back then. Whoa. So I'm in Whole Foods Market, which you're very familiar with. Everybody now, they have Whole Foods all over the world, so everybody knows it. I'm in Whole Foods. It's a salad bar, and this really good-looking guy. This was like a couple of years ago. This really good-looking guy, 6'4", looked like, Jude Law. He looked like Jude Law, real handsome. And he was filling up his salad. He was getting a salad thing, and I was too. And he was very friendly. And he looked over at me, and he started talking. He was just real sweet, and he had an English accent. So I thought, oh my God, this guy is way too charming. So he talks to me, and we just chit chat a little bit. So when I leave, he's standing outside in the parking lot, and something told me to ask him. So I said to him, have you by any chance ever heard that song? Because he was from London. I said, have you by any chance ever heard that song "All Over Me" by Suzi Carr? And he goes, oh my God, it was a massive hit. He said, that's the biggest song I ever played at the race. He was a DJ. He said that was his biggest song. He went crazy over it. So he ended up going with me to my keyboard player's house. And, I should send you a copy of this too, because it's really good. My keyboard player and I had done a remake of it's called, oh God, I wrote words to it, so I can't remember what it's actually called. Oh, Rainforest, it's actually called. Anyway, I wrote words to it. We remade it. It sounded really good. So I brought the DJ, who's a producer that loved All Over Me, to his house, and he produced it. Oh my God, he did such a great job, and he took my vocals and he took some of the keyboard parts to London with him, and he came out with like these beautiful mixes. Like I'll send them to you. They're sexy as hell. They're really sexy. But anyway, he was great. So that was one of those crazy meetings with someone that something just told me, ask him if he knows All Over Me, and sure enough. And he said it was like one of the biggest songs he'd ever played. So anyway, that's cool. I love that you have it. I can't believe you have it. Which version do you have?
Not only do I have it, I'm going to play it right now. You can listen to it. I want the people to listen to what you're talking about. So without further ado, this is All Over Me, Suzi Carr. Here we go. Body, 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 body. Oh, that's a good song. That's a really now.
Oh, thank you.
Now I gotta say I could have forwarded that straight to the vocals and skipped everything, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted to expose your voice. And the beginning of the song when it starts, it captures your voice, and I wanted to get people to hear that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, I didn't do that. They took like a little, they edited that. I think I went something like, oh, over your body. And they took that body and then they made the body thing out of it. You know what I mean?
Of
It's
course.
like not something I actually sang. They just kind of like snipped it and then made that up. And I thought it was great. I loved it.
It was a good song, and you
Yeah.
know, and a lot of people when they see Susie Carr, all they think about is those 4 songs from Will to Power, and you're so
Yes.
much more than just Will to Power.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. But people only know me from Will to Power, but that's okay. It was good. I had a good run. But anyway, we were getting back to that. So the massage thing. So I never got paid any of my royalties. The producer never honored the contract. So I've never been paid a penny for any of the Will to Power hits. And so I had to make money. And I was living here in LA. I really thought I would get a solo deal. I thought it would take off, and it never really took off. It was just big in the UK, and I never got paid anything for that one either. But what I was going to tell you is I didn't want to do psychology because you have to get your master's or your doctorate in order to have a practice. And I didn't really want the one-on-one with a lot of neurotic people all day long. I thought that would kind of get on my nerves. So I had a trainer at Gold's Gym, and I ran out of money, and I started massaging him in payment of training me. So I became good at it. And when I got this second record deal, I took the advance for that. They gave like a little $2,500 advance or something. And I took the advance and went to massage school. And it turned out, I always say it took me 13 years to make it and 13 years to recover from it. So the first 13 years of my massage career were really the healing that I went through for all of the music nightmare stuff. I mean, it was great. I had great memories from my music, and it was a wonderful time in my life. But it was also, there were certain people in it that one person that made it a nightmare. And, it takes a long time to get over that when people are evil and mean and cruel to you and treat you terrible and spit on you and hit you and kick you and knock you down. It takes a long time to heal from that because you're thinking, God, I didn't deserve to be treated like that. Well, how could someone be so mean,
Yeah.
So for me to do my massage career was a healing for my soul, And I've always been a really healthy person. I've always been a real spiritual person. My whole life I've been on a very heavy spiritual journey, not a religious one, but a spiritual journey, and that I believe that you are what you think, and what you think about you bring about. And I think it's really important to raise your vibration and be in a space of love rather than fear. And I think you attract to yourself pretty much what you're vibrating. So if you're vibrating happiness and good thoughts and kindness and love and joy, you're going to pretty much see mostly that rather than the opposite,
Now, unfortunately, we hear that a lot from a lot of the artists. They're not getting paid royalties and so forth. But now, when you still perform under Will to Power, or you don't perform under Will to Power?
Bob copyrighted. He trademarked the name Will to Power. So when I can't use the name Will to Power, he tries to sue everyone. If they make a mistake on the flyer, they're supposed to say Suzi Carr, formerly of Will to Power, as a legal thing, because he will go after someone. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. But I can do Suzi Carr, formerly of Will to Power. So if the promoter makes a mistake on the flyer and does it, because I always tell him you can only advertise Suzi Carr, formerly of Will to Power. So if he puts Suzi Carr of Will to Power, then he'll try. The producer will try to sue him, or try to have it shut down, or have like if I post "Baby I Love Your Way," me singing it, our video on my wall, he has me kicked off of Facebook and claims copyright infringement, which he didn't write. He didn't write Baby I Love You Way, so he doesn't own the copyright on it. But he tells Facebook that he owns the copyright. They shut me down. I'm in Facebook jail for a week, and he has it taken off. So this is the kind of person I'm dealing with. So no, I don't go out as Will to Power. He trademarked the name, and so only he can use it.
Oh, that bites. But it's one of those things where it is what it is. But you've moved on, and you're doing great for yourself. Now I'm gonna have to let you go because I got to get back to the music. But before
let me just say one thing.
Go for it.
Him doing that has been great for me because now everyone knows my name. Before, nobody knew my name. So if he hadn't done that, people still wouldn't know my name. But because I have to advertise my name, then it's really been a great thing for me.
Now, isn't that ironic? Because the same thing is happening to Marla G with this whole Giggles thing. Ever since that happened, she's more popular and is being booked more now than she ever did. So they did her a grand favor.
Yeah. Yeah, see, sometimes when people try to hurt you, it backfires. You just hurt themselves. It backfires on them. But yeah, you've been a joy. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really loved it. And thank you for having me on your show. And this was really fun for me.
Well, this is what I want to do before I let you go. Now, I'm going to play a song. It's called Superstar, If I Can Save Your Eyes. Now, I just want to let everybody know it's not a dance song. It's not a freestyle song. It's actually a ballad. But I played it. I loved it. I think your vocals are beautiful, and I want them to hear what Suzi Carr sounds like. And then after that, I'll let you give out your shout-outs, and we'll wrap it up. So everybody, this is Superstar, If I Can See Your Eyes. Suzi Carr, let's go.
Oh, so far away, I fell in love with you. Before the second show, and your guitar just played so sweet and clear, but you're not really here. It's just the radio. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? Said you'd be coming back this way again, baby.
And you see why I had to play that song, everybody. That song. And DR1 from Vibe 24/7, he does a love song show for us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. DR1, if you're listening, you gotta play this jam on your show Sunday.
Oh, thank you, DJ. That's so nice. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you a little backstory on that song?
Absolutely.
When I was in college, probably my freshman, junior year, I used to go out to the Holiday Inn. They had like a trio. They had like a circuit that would go around to all the different college towns and play. There was a girl named Janine. She's friends with me on Facebook. I used to go out and listen to her all the time, and she used to sing this song, and I just thought one day I'm going to sing that song, and I loved it. Before I moved to LA, before I did Will to Power, I met Randy Waldman. He came in to hear me sing in Fort Lauderdale with George Benson. He was George Benson's, and still is, George Benson's musical director. So I became friends with Randy. We just kept in touch. When I came out to LA, he's the only friend I had out here. And I came in between that time, Will to Power hit. So when I moved to LA, Will to Power was already, we already had our hit record. So Randy and I remained friends all these years. So he produced Superstar for me. Now, Randy is way out of my league. Randy has worked with Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Barbara Streisand. He's her musical director. He's one of the best piano players in the world. And he's way out of my league. I just happened to meet him like 32 years ago or whatever, and we remain friends. So he produced 4 songs for me, and I consider them my masterpieces. I consider them my legacy. When I die, that's what I want to leave behind, because I don't know, it was just my dream to be able to do the kind of music that he did for me. And because I wanted to be like a Celine Dion, you know what I mean? I wanted to be like a big pop diva. And the songs that he did for me, I think they're great, and I think he did a great job. And they're on iTunes if anybody's interested, and they're also on YouTube. But thank you so much for playing that one. That was the first one I recorded with Randy.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's a beautiful
really
song. It's a beautiful song. I mean, how can you not play that?
Thank you. I'm really proud of it. I'm so thankful that you played it. It touches my heart.
You're very welcome. So let me tell you, go ahead and give your shout outs. Tell everybody what's on your mind. Microphone's all yours.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, Lord. I wouldn't even know what to say. All I really want to say is, when you have a dream, never give up, because it's never too late. It took me 13 years to get a hit record. And I sang every night, 6 nights a week, 5 hours a night in a club before I was able to get a hit record. And you have to hone your skill, and you have to have the present wrapped and ready to go. So when the opportunity strikes, bam, you got it. You give them your gift, your talent. And it takes a lot of work. If you want something, you got to really hone your skill and be great at what you do. And I think that you can do anything you want. So for me, at this age of my life, peace and happiness are the most important things for me. The most fun thing I do are these concerts. It's just the most thrilling thing I've ever done. And I'm so thankful that I still get to do them. So what I would say is, do what you love, follow your heart, follow your bliss, be happy, and stay in the moment. They say that depression comes from living in the past, and anxiety comes from living in the future. So my advice would be to be present, be in the moment, and be what you love.
That's great advice. And I want to once again thank you for coming in. And, we get a lot of celebrities that come into my shows and do a lot. But you and I were able to connect because we both live in Los Angeles, and we're able to talk about the city. And it was a beautiful thing. So I really appreciate having your company here with me tonight. If you ever have any songs or anything you want played, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to play anything that comes out of your mouth.
Oh, you're the best. I'm going to get you the copies of the ones that the London DJ did. They're great. Of Here Comes the Rainforest remake.
That'd
he did
be
a great
wonderful.
job on them. They're sexy and beautiful. So I'll get you a copy of those, and if you ever want to play them, that would be great. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for everything. You're lovely, and I had a great time, and you're really fun.
Thank you so much. You have a great Easter. Be safe out there.
You too. Happy Easter.
Same to you.
Thank
All
you.
righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Susie Carr right there. She's it was a pleasure interviewing her. Great lady, great person. As you guys, identified yourselves, she got a great voice. Honestly, it's just a superb voice. The love songs are good. I have a couple more. I just couldn't play that. Everybody wants upbeat music, but she got great music. So we're gonna get the second half of the show started. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to the interview. Once again, thank you, Gail from Bella Entertainment. Thank you, Susie, for blessing us with the interview. And let's get this